How old are you and what university are you attending?
I'm 20 years old and I'm attending the University of Hawaii Maui College.
How many hours a day do you spend on social media?
I would say at least 4 hours.
Okay. Which social media platforms do you use most frequently?
TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. Do you use Twitter or any of those, or it's just Instagram and TikTok?
I use Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. I do not use Twitter.
You don't use Snapchat?
I have the app installed, but I wouldn't spend more than like a few minutes on it a day.
Okay. How do you feel after spending time on social media?
I feel drained, exhausted. I think it makes me feel more insecure. Um, it definitely takes a negative toll on my mental health.
Okay. Do you think social media has an impact on your self-esteem?
100%.
Okay. How? Like, in what ways do you think that social media is impacting your self-esteem?
I think the ongoing comparison to other women and their situations and the fillers they get and the plastic surgery they get and all the alterations that are made to their own bodies,
Mhm.
Photoshop, all of these things make my insecurities intensified.
Okay. Can you describe any changes in your social interactions due to social media use?
I would say it affects my attention span to have a conversation.
Oh. And what about like beyond that? Do you feel like you avoid social interaction, like human contact that's in person because you have social media? Or do you feel like it's the opposite? Like maybe you have more human contact because of social media? Like, what do you think about that as far as like social settings and like socializing?
I don't think it affects me personally, but I have seen it affect other people,
Okay.
um, where maybe they have more social anxiety and they can't look people in the eyes, or they choose to walk away when someone pulls them for a conversation or something like that. Like they just can't. But personally, I don't think I have that problem.
Okay. How has social media influenced your views on body image?
Oh, I think a lot, leading back to how, whatever the question was a minute ago. Wait,
Your impact on self-esteem?
yes, I think the Photoshop and the alterations that thousands of women are getting, it impacts my body image and the way I view my natural body, and makes me consider getting things done that I probably wouldn't have ever considered if I didn't see people advertising it on social media or showing off their new things they're getting done to themselves.
Okay. Have you experienced cyberbullying or harassment on social media? And if so, how did it affect you?
I have not personally experienced this. I think bullying is something very real and serious, and it does happen a lot on social media. And I will say that the more time I spend on social media, it is, I think, in the end, why I feel so drained at the end of when I do put my phone down, because you'll see someone post something criticizing another person and the comments will be egging that on, and they'll all be agreeing or tearing someone down for something that's not that serious or should be called out for. And then occasionally you'll receive the few comments who are, backing that person, saying this is wrong, but there's a lot of negative talk on social media.
Okay, so like even witnessing someone else's experience with cyberbullying or harassment has an effect on you. Like it might not be you personally, but seeing that, you know, with someone else has an effect on you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
How often do you compare yourself to others on social media?
I mean, I think this has become something that happens subconsciously, truthfully. I don't
Okay.
know if it's so I think just with when you're, going like this down your TikTok or Instagram feed and you see someone and you're zooming in and you're like, "Oh, well, wow, like she doesn't have hip dips or her are those boobs natural or are they real?" Or and then it make you just these things happen subconsciously. So
Mhm.
I would say probably every time I'm on social media, which is every day.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Have you ever felt pressured to portray a certain image or lifestyle on social media?
100%. I think I choose not to post on social media, and I feel like part of that reason is because I want to hold myself to a certain standard, and so if I do make a post, which is maybe once a month, it's on my story and it's something that contributes to my overall consistent feed. Um, and I so yes, I do think that.
Okay. How does social media use affect your sleep, if it does?
It affects my sleep because if I'm feeling exhausted and I just pick up my phone before going to bed, I'll realize hours have passed and I'm no longer feeling as tired. I'm now in a state where I'm so interested on something or someone and what they're doing that I'll spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes just fixated on this one thing instead of sleeping and initially just putting my phone away when I felt exhausted to begin with. So I do think that it takes a and then waking up, I'll realize that I'll immediately grab for my phone,
Mhm.
check my notifications, who texted me while I was sleeping. And so I just think that even while I'm sleeping, there's this subconscious, like, I almost want to say anxiety of like what's going on, like what is happening on my phone. I'll notice if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll flip my phone over to see if there's something important that I should be giving my energy to. So I do think it has a major effect.
Okay. Have you noticed any changes in your mental health related to social media use?
I would say yes. I think because of the constant comparison and everything else, even just sleep, like lack of not getting as many hours of sleep as you should be because you're spending time on social media, I think that all takes toll on your mental health.
Mhm. Okay. How do you think social media has influenced your relationships with friends and family?
Mm, I'm not too sure. I think maybe I will say that social media has made people very persuasive to formulating certain opinions on certain things. And so I think in that sense, it can create a disconnect more likely than it would if someone didn't spend as many hours on social media. Someone will see something and gravitate towards that those are now their feelings on something, and it's kind of like a cultish topic, and then it'll create probably like a disagreement with a friend or a family member, and I would say that that is pretty common.
Okay. Do you find yourself procrastinating on tasks because of social media?
Yes.
What are those tasks that you are
If I need to get ready for work at um 1 o'clock, I'll maybe let myself go until 1:15 because I'm so occupied on what I'm doing on my phone and I think that I can spare the 15 minutes. Oh, just 5 more minutes, snooze that, 7 more minutes, that type of thing.
Okay. in your opinion, what are the positive and negative effects of utilizing social media on college students?
Mm, hmm. You said what are the positive and negative effects that social media takes on college students? Hello? I can't hear you.
One second. Oh, okay. Sorry, we got interrupted. Okay. In your opinion, what are the positive and negative effects of utilizing social media on college students?
I think social media does give a many different perspectives. I think it shows new opportunities and um, there's news coverage that we can easily access on our phones. So I think for that, I would say that's pretty positive for college students. They can um, utilize things and have easier access to things quicker on their phones. But I would say the negatives are that maybe they're getting too lazy and they will be looking up things instead of doing the work themselves. They'll be taking answers from other people online instead of formulating a response themselves.
Okay. And then my last question is, what would be helpful messaging when attempting to raise awareness of the potential mental health behavioral effects from social media? So, like, are there ways that we could communicate, you know, and raise awareness regarding mental health behavior and the effects from using social media?
Um, I would just say I would say a good piece of advice is to try and start setting your phone down 30 minutes before you go to sleep and try to at least not be on your phone for 30 minutes after you wake up, just so that you're not immediately programming your brain to look at what other people are doing. I think it how you start your day sets the mood for your entire day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say to just keep in mind that what you see on social media is not real life. And a lot of it is AI or Photoshop, and it's just not real. And so keep in mind that the only thing that you should be concerned about is your present moment and what is in front of you, and how you look and how other people look is not what's important.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me and contribute to my research paper.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.